I really need to get better at this. I don't see anything yet. Yeah, actually, I think we're live. I'm going to just double check here on Facebook to make sure we're live. And if you're watching a recording of this, you can fast forward. Yep, looks like we're live on Facebook and looks like we're live on YouTube. All right, let's do this. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's or this month's, really, I mean, this past month's update roundup. We're a little bit late on this one. We had a couple things going on last week that sort of slowed us down. So we're now live today. Great. Awesome to see the chat is working. So welcome to January 2021 update roundup. This is also live streamed on REI Conversion's YouTube channel, as well as our Land Investors Who Drive Growth Facebook group. So thanks again for those of you guys who are attending live. We're going to jump right into things. We've got myself and Yuli, which we're going to sort of talk about the website side of things, and then we're going to bring Kevin on to talk about the REI Pebble side of things. So I'm going to make sure I have this up and running. And by the way, if you guys have any questions, oops, it looks like I just condensed that. That was weird. If you guys have any questions, please save it to the end. We do have a live Q&A at the end there. So awesome. So first of all, a big thank you, of course. We've gotten through our first month with of 2021. 2020 has been a crazy year for land investors. Unfortunately, with the whole COVID thing, but it's been a crazy year for land investing in general. So sort of a silver lining there. But thank you again. Thank you for a lot of the patience that has been we've been sort of testing out there, because we did end up upgrading our sites and then a whole bunch of stuff on the back end. So we really appreciate all you guys as we sort of work to make sure everything runs smoothly on our end. So we're going to talk about website updates. We've been rolling out a lot of bug fixes. Yuli's been in charge of that and looking out after that, along with our other team member, Nabil. So we've been pushing out updates on that. The next thing is our opt-in pages. And I think a lot of you guys have been asking about opt-in pages, especially you guys who have our sites already installed, how to get that onto your current site. So the opt-in pages, you can see these are all for your land list side of things. And Yuli, with the opt-in pages, if they want that on their site, it's a simple import, and you've put together an article inside of our knowledge base to do that, obviously, and I remember seeing it there. But it's pretty straightforward for those that are wanting to import that, right?
Yes. All you need to do is download it from knowledge base and import it inside your website, and also import the form, and it should work.
Yeah.
We have 4 opt-in pages for each thing.
That's right. Yep. I think also the forms for these opt-in pages are different, so you'll need to grab that as well. Now, I think we decided to take that off our knowledge base. So if you're those files off the knowledge base, I think we can, I don't know if it's sitting there or not. But anyways, if you are needing that for your website, just shoot us an email, hello@reiconversion.com. We've been getting a lot of emails. It's just a simple few steps that you just need to import into your website. And Yuli has made that pretty straightforward. And just for those of you guys are wondering, what are these opt-in pages for? I mean, these are for you guys that are interested in working on ebooks. I know a bunch of you guys are, or want to just a general opt-in page for building your buyers list, whatever that may be. These are what those opt-in pages Yuli has built out to be. There's 4 versions of these, and they're all for REI land list. Now we've moved over to hosting. Every plan now includes hosting. We've sort of made the decision on this. There was just a lot of issues with everybody using different hosting. And we wanted to make sure we had the most consistent experience for everybody. So that means if you are self-hosted on another website or another hosting service, Yuli, they can just simply email us and we can sort of come up with a plan to move them over to our hosting, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's pretty straightforward, but you will also, if you're using WP Engine, you will be making a bit of a savings moving over to our hosting as well. So that will be all taken care of. So you can email us, either Yuli, myself, or Risa. Somebody on the team will make sure you get taken care of. Is there anything that they need to know about sort of if they wanted to move hosting, Yuli? Is there any concerns or anything like that? Or is it
Uh,
pretty straightforward?
yeah. Other than the pricing, you get a better firewall. So
Yeah.
against those hackers.
Yeah.
What else? Of course, the daily backups, like all the basic juicy stuff, we have it.
Right. Yeah. I think that's mostly it. I mean, at the end of the day, it is sort of helping you save, and then you just get a more consistent experience overall. Especially if you're using something like Bluehost, or which I try my best not to recommend. But I understand there are some budgetary reasons. But just as a heads up, I know that a lot of people, that run a site on Bluehost, or if it's hosted on GoDaddy, will experience some sort of breaking their security, and then it's a nightmare to get off of those. So just a heads up on that. And so if you're interested in that, shoot us a message and we'll get you lined up with that. So one of the big things that we're working on is migrating and upgrading our servers. Some of you guys that are now hosted with us, we will be sort of migrating your sites, and we will be timing that. And we will need your help on that. So you will need to sort of go back into your domain and point your name servers over to our new name servers. But not to worry, everybody will be reached out at. We will let you know. If you aren't on our hosting yet and want to move over to our hosting, this is a great time as well, as we're doing the migration at the same time. So do reach out. And we can sort of take care of things. But there's just a lot of back-end stuff that we're looking after. So we're spending this sort of next month to really put everybody on a robust server and to make sure everything is taken care of. Aside from that, that's pretty much on the website side of things. If you guys have any questions, you can ask them right now. We'll probably take a few seconds here to see if there's any questions on the website side of things. And just to let you know, one thing I didn't write on here is we're actually working on some new designs as well for REI land leads and land lists. So some of you guys that are interested in switching designs down the road, that will also be available. So that is another sort of one of our major milestones this quarter, is rolling out a couple other skins. And it'll just look a lot different from what you're used to seeing. So we're really excited about that. And I'm working with Yuli and our design team on that. So awesome. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Again, if you have any questions, you can save it to the end. Let's sort of move forward. Yuli, thanks again for joining us. It's Yuli's out in Taiwan right now, so it's early in the morning for her. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, guys, about the website, feel free to leave it. We can answer it at the end of the Q&A or at the end of the live stream here, or you can shoot us an email, either myself, Yuli, or somebody on the team here. We'll take care of that. Awesome. Thanks again for joining us, Yuli.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, I'm going to pull Kevin in here. Hey, Kevin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Let's sort of, we've got a question here. Yuli, I'm going to pull Yuli back in here, but I can probably take care of this one. Is there a cost for migration? No, we'll be taking care of that. So there is just a cost of you in a couple minutes to kind of enter in a couple things that you need to enter. It's just more of a time thing. So we'll try to minimize any downtime. I doubt, I don't want to say there won't be any downtime, but there possibly could be. But we'll be working on that, especially during the nighttime. But it's going to be sort of a 48-hour process that we're sort of blocking out, but it should, if according to plan, should be much less than that. But there again shouldn't be any downtime that you're facing. Is that right, Yuli?
Yes, and I want to add that this time around we will be managing your domain. So this time we will ask you to change your name server, and in the future if we need to upgrade your server, we won't have to come through you again. We will manage your domain.
Awesome. Yes, that is a huge plus actually. So then you don't, if we do upgrade, yeah, you don't have to do this process again. Okie dokie. Thanks again, Yuli. Bye. Okay, and then on the Pebble side of things,
Yes.
let's jump right into it. One of the sort of bigger Pebble updates is our campaign recreation. So in a scenario where you need to remail a campaign that you already mailed out to, you will now be able to create a campaign from an existing campaign. And where this sort of works very well is if you've done a mail out, say in January, and then 4 months down the road, you want to mail that campaign again. But this time you can just mail out to those who never got back to you, and you can adjust your offer at that time, which really sort of brings us to that next point. You are now able to sort of reprice those offers within Pebble. So you can do a percentage increase, right? A fixed dollar increase across all of those properties, or I think by acres too. Is that right?
Right. Yeah. Would you like me to share my screen and
Yeah,
I can
let's
kind
do
of
it.
show how this
Yeah.
how this all works? Okay.
I don't see your
Yep,
screen.
hold on. Let me application window here, share. Okay. Can you see that one?
I'm going to turn it on. Oh, there we go. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so yeah, like Jesse mentioned, we basically allow essentially recreating campaigns or copying campaigns, but it's actually a lot more than that. It really lets you adjust just about everything within a campaign. So let's just say, for instance, let's say that I have a campaign here that I sent out. Let's say this one went out in June, but let's say I went out last month, and then a few months from now, I want to send all of these people a second offer, but only the people who have not contacted me yet. So essentially, filter out this campaign based on the people who didn't contact me, and then send them a new offer, and then I can maybe adjust that offer if I'd like to. So the way we can do this is if we go over to properties here, we can now we can filter our offers by a campaign. So I've selected this campaign. So now I see the same 396 offers that were in that campaign before. And then I can also filter down things even further. So I can say, only give me the inactive properties. So that's going to remove the properties that have gotten back to me and I've put them in a different stage. So now I can essentially go in here and create a new campaign based on this. So the way that I do that is I can check some of these. If I wanted to, I could just create a campaign with these three, or I can go over here and I can say select all 395. So now that's selected all these offers. And now I can say create a campaign based on this selection. So if I do that, it's going to ask me for a campaign name. We'll just call this like second offer. You can adjust these however you want, but you'll just click create campaign. And now I've got my new campaign with the duplicate properties in there. And then the great part about this now is I can adjust these offer prices. So again, I can select all these offers, these new offers. I can click select all, and then I can adjust the offer price. So if I want to say, let's say my previous mailing was for, say, I don't know, $1,000 an acre. I can go in here and I can say adjust all those offer prices up by 10%. And then I would just click this, and then that would adjust all those offer prices. I can also go in here and set a fixed price. So I can say I want to offer all these $1,000, or I can do a price per acre. Maybe I want to now offer them 1,100 per acre. So again, I can just click adjust offer prices. Now I've got my new offers. And then just like any other campaign, if I click activate, that will send those out. So, and this actually works for more than just duplicating a campaign. If you want to send, filter out only the offers that you sent last year and you just want to remail everyone, you can do that just by selecting the send offer date and creating a campaign based on that. If you only want to target a specific acreage or a specific county, you can basically sort your list of properties however you want, any property that you've mailed previously, and then create a campaign based on that and send those offers. So it's really versatile. We think how this will all work. So
Yeah. And for those of you guys who want to see how to do this, we did update our knowledge base here. So if you just go to kb.reiconversion.com, go into campaigns and docs, and then here it is recreating and resending a campaign, and we sort of go through this again inside of here. So you'll have a good understanding. You can sort of do this alongside our knowledge base.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay. So the last thing here, we sort of talked about the recreation of campaigns, the repricing of offers. And the next big thing here is really Zapier. Our Zapier app is now public. What this really allows you to do, and I think is going to be a huge benefit for a lot of people, is you can now make zaps in Zapier, from going from Pebble to whatever system you want to automate to. And now you're able to share those zaps with others. And now that we're public, you are able to share what you've sort of built together. So for example, if you wanted to zap, you typically want to go from, I don't know, let's, for example, you want to email somebody after a lead comes in. You want to set up a zap for that so that it shoots out an email inside of Gmail. You can set that up, and then say if you knew somebody else working on Pebble, you can share that with them as well, so they can do the exact same things. Now, this really brings up...
We are also going to be creating some templates, right, Jesse?
That's right. Yeah. And one of the things that we're going to be doing tomorrow with Callan, she is one of our Pebble users, as well as a CRM specialist. That's sort of her daily is, we're going to be doing a full webinar on sort of key zaps that you should and see sort of how to build out zaps inside of REI Pebble. She'll be sharing those as well, and she's going to be sharing a little bit more on automation. So if you haven't signed up for that, it is, I'll just type it in right here. It is www.reiconversion.com/zap-on. So you can, it's quite full already, but get in there, and that happens same time that this started today, tomorrow. So hopefully we'll catch you guys there tomorrow.
Yeah.
So right. So what's coming up?
Yes,
this is sort of like one sentence here to sum up a lot of what Kevin and I are working on. So we call it the new lead management flow. And really, I mean, this is, Kevin, I don't know, like, what's the best way? We sort of show you guys how that looks like, or...
Yeah, let's demo it, and I think it'll make sense once we kind of show it off, and
Sure.
I think this will be a really huge thing for kind of organizing things. So
do you want to share your screen? And then...
Yes, I've got it up here.
Awesome. Yep.
Okay. So for those of you who are familiar with, I think that the term most people use is Kanban view. Basically, if you've used Trello before, that sort of interface where you have lanes and cards within the lanes, we are going to build a system similar to that to handle your buyer and seller leads. This is something that often people get kind of overwhelmed by the amount of leads they have coming in. So we think that this Kanban view is going to really help people organize this. So if you go to this is not live yet, but it will be in the coming weeks. So basically, what we had previously in your seller page was a view that looked like this, where you've got your seller leads all in a list, and they would kind of just be a list like this. But as this list grows, it's hard to keep track of where each thing is in the process and visualize that from one spot. So we're basically going to allow having this board view where each lead will come into this first column. In this case, we're just calling it lead in. And that will happen just like it does currently, where if somebody submits a lead to your inbox address, it will land here in this first column. And from there, you can just move these seller leads across your process. Now, one thing that we really like about this is that this flow is essentially customizable to exactly what you want it to be. So if you have another stage here that's like I don't know, pre-screen, and you want to give that another color here, you can add that. You can add new stages. You can add as many stages as you want. You can also move stages around, so you can move your stages to exactly your process. And then you can adjust these seller leads through this process until they are either won or lost. And I guess that brings us to the next thing. So there's quite a few things missing from this page, but you'll be familiar when you click into a lead, you'll see the lead page. This will have all the details about the property once it's ready to go. But the thing that I wanted to show today was that before, when you clicked 1 on a property, that would essentially be it. It would just mark that lead as 1, and it would hide it from the main view. What we've added now is the ability to mark, essentially say how much you purchased a property for. So in this case, I'll say I purchased this property for $1,000. I purchased it today. And then I can save that. And what that's going to do is essentially mark the seller lead as 1, just like it did before. But then it's also going to kick this property into what we're calling our inventory flow. And let me just show you how this works. So I click save. That's going to take me back to the sellers. But now if I go to inventory, I've now got this new property in my inventory board. And what we realized as we were talking to our customers and sort of using the system ourselves is we had sort of this mismatch between a seller where I want to walk through a process of a seller. Maybe I send a contract out, I record a deed, but once I've purchased that property, I now need to go through a separate flow of getting this property ready for selling. So that typically will go through some set of processes. In my case, I've got like I need to send neighbor letters, right? So I put this property over into neighbor letters sent, which means I've sent the neighbors letters. And then after I do that, I'll go and get my photos taken. And then I might have a stage here for ad copy written or something. Ad copy. Give that a color, maybe this. Save that. So now I've got a new stage here. I can move that over to ad copy. I can move it over to listed. Basically, whatever you want to do with your process, but you move each property that you purchase through this board, and then once you've listed it, then you'll basically go over to the buyer's page And the buyer's screen will look very similar to the seller screen, where you have both the board view and the list view, and you can now walk each buyer through their individual stages as well. So this is a big change. It'll probably take some getting used to, but we think that overall this is going to provide a lot more organization for your process management, basically getting your properties from initial seller lead all the way through purchasing, marketing, selling, and closing. So
Yes. Awesome. Thanks for sharing all of that. And I'm going to, oops. I still have you here?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm
perfect. That was a lot.
Yes.
So there's a lot that is going on in there. And then we'll be sort of probably showing more on the next update roundup, but it is sort of a huge sort of rethinking of how we sort of handle lead management inside of Pebble.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work for us to get all these kind of moving pieces tied together, but expect in the next coming weeks to start seeing this landing, and we'll try to write some blog posts about or some knowledge base articles about how to start using this. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think this will be huge, and this will really set us up down the road to start doing some cool things around analytics, where we can know how much a property was purchased for, how much it was sold for. We can give you some charts and graphs about what your ROIs are and how long it's taking you to sell a property. And yeah,
right. Awesome. All right. Well, let's just jump right into any Q&A here. We're here. I spoke to some of you guys on demo calls about websites. You have, I saw, you know what? I'm going to pull Yuli. Can I pull you back here? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're okay? Still there? Okay, awesome. Awesome. I'm going to pull Yuli back in here. And if you guys have any questions here, let's just tackle them on. So I like it. What you are showing is really a checklist of activities that are not necessarily sequential, not so much stage. Okay, improvement. Tech improvement is right on. Awesome. Somebody asked, what's the status with listings view?
Yeah, so we've built out an initial kind of prototype of that, and we're testing it right now. We want to make sure that that works for everybody, and we're going to be releasing that at some point, but we're going to focus on this Kanban thing first, because we know that that's something that affects everyone, whereas some people may or may not use the listing view. So we'll circle back to that, and we'll continue testing it and get that ready for launching, probably right after we get this new Kanban thing done.
Austin asks, how long do we have until we have to move hosts? You don't really need to do much, right, Yuli? They're simply just repointing their name servers. But what do we have? We have planned to do a batch of sites this coming weekend. You will be notified through email. And then when was the next one? Was it sort of in a couple weeks from now?
I think 2 weeks.
Yeah, so about 2 weeks. We're going to be the weekend after is Valentine's, Chinese New Year. So the whole team has sort of things going on that weekend. So we want to make sure everything goes smoothly. That's just honestly what's going on. So we're going to do a batch this coming weekend, and then we're going to do majority of it the weekend after. So you will be notified through email. Soma asked, when does the inventory feature when is that going to be available in Pebble?
Yeah, so we don't have a firm date yet. We're working on it full time right now. So we also need to test that and verify everything's good. So I don't want to give a hard date, but definitely in the coming months you'll start seeing that showing up.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, guys. Sorry, jumped in late, but what's going on with the respect to migration impact on us customers? Don't need the whole spiel, just heads up. And we're talking REI conversion website, not Pebble. Thank you. Yes, Sean. So nothing really affects you other than during a span, I would say we're setting just 48 hours. Honestly, it's going to be probably a lot shorter than that you won't be able to make any changes on your site. So any changes that you make on there won't get reflected. So there's a time block that just says don't do anything. Your site won't be down. People can still visit your site. People can still submit forms to you. Everything is fine. You just won't be able to do anything. That's all that's going to affect you. You really won't notice anything. We're just going to keep you in the loop. When the only thing it's going to affect is you just need to log into your domain and point your name servers. That's it. You shouldn't. Again, your leads. It won't affect anything to do with your leads or anything. They won't notice the difference at all.
Yes, and you will continue get the leads. Any submissions, any forms, it will still continue working.
And we're going to also try to do this in the evening times just to mitigate anything else that might happen. All right. Great questions, guys. Anything else that we can help answer? That's cool. I like it when I don't need to do anything. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So you should be good, Sean. All right.
Cool.
Aside from that, I hope to see a bunch of you guys tomorrow. What else here? There's just so much going on here. So yeah, tomorrow we're having our webinar. Come on and join us. I think Callan's also watching live with us right now, but it's going to be awesome in there. Aside from that, thank you again for joining us for this past month's update roundup. We're a week late here, but we should be on schedule hopefully for the next one. And for those of you guys that are in our Pebbler mastermind that are using Pebble, we also have a mastermind coming up this week. And we're going to be bringing on the folks over from Fabrica, and we're going to be talking about payments and whatnot. So, Sharonda asked, will the new one work for wholesale deals?
Yes. I think that the way that would work is very similar. You'll have you'll still be purchasing the property as you would from any other seller. So you'll just go into the property. You might not walk the seller through that whole process, but you'll essentially just go into the property, click add a seller, and then click one and mark it with the price. So even the wholesaler will essentially be the seller on that case.
Awesome. All right, guys. I think that wraps it up for our update roundup. Thanks again for all of you guys who attended. If you guys have any other further questions, you know where to reach us. It's best to email us hello@reiconversion.com. There's a lot of questions that come in from time to time, so we want to be able to keep track of everything. But other than that, Yuli, Kevin, thanks again for joining us from the other side of the planet. That's right, Soma. Fabrica does have a limitation, but they are expanding, and we're going to be talking about that on that webinar. So anyways, thanks again, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.